Hi everybody, good evening. Welcome to tonight's city council meeting. At this point, would the clerk please call the roll?
Councilman Kazarian.
Here.
Councilwoman Rivasa.
Present.
Councilman Solano.
Present.
Councilman Figueroa.
Present.
Councilwoman Baena. Councilwoman Rosado Martinez. And Council President.
Present. All please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone.
The next item on the agenda under item 3 is public comment. I believe we have one person signed up.
Yes, we have Chief Mello.
Good evening. I just wanted to come tonight because we aren't, at this point, the liquor licenses here. This is a police issue. When the liquor licenses get to the council, we've already signed off. Because no one in the city gets a liquor license unless the fire code is adhered to. So when we sign off, once they get here, for your approval, it's out of our hands. And the reason I came tonight is to make sure that everyone knew that. And more importantly is that last meeting, for lack of a better term, I guess, the fire department and myself, I took it upon myself because I'm the chief, were called out for not being here. I don't have the staff that the police department has. You know, a couple of majors, a couple of captains, lieutenants. It's me, the deputy chief. Everyone that's working tonight is on the trucks. They can't come here. So it's either me or him. And if I can't make it or he can't make it, it's not that we don't care, but we just don't have the people. He has way more people available to him. But I just wanted to let everyone know that if someone needs me here, if the solicitor, the clerk, or the chief of staff ask me and say, listen, chief, can you have someone there or yourself? We will always be here. But the liquor license, like the last 2 weeks ago, the litany, we've already approved all those. So they're just here for your final approval. So if anybody ever needs me to be here or call me for any reason, like tonight, I respond. So I was a little set back with that, you know, when I was told that it was said publicly that we don't come. I took that as we don't care, we do care. Because if we didn't care, we wouldn't be inspecting buildings over and over and over again to make sure that everything is adhered to the fire code so that nobody gets hurt, nobody gets killed if there is a fire. So I just wanted you to know that if you need us, or myself or someone to designate, we will be at one of these meetings. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Chief. We understand.
Can I speak or?
Why?
Well, because it said that they were called out and I want to address the fact that I was the one that brought it up. But I don't have to, like, can't.
Oh, you can, anybody can speak.
I wanted to say it wasn't a call out. It was when the businesses were up for renewal, it was brought to our attention that there was some responses there for calls of safety, many calls. And I personally was looking for more information on the service calls regarding drug overdoses and things of that nature. And I do recall at one point there was someone from fire here. I think it was your deputy periodically or for a couple of meetings, and then it kind of faded. So it wasn't that I was trying to put it out there to offend or anything of that nature. It was just when we were looking for more information to be able to make that approval or denial on a license, it would have been for me beneficial to be able to know what kind of calls your department is, you know, servicing at those locations. So I just wanted to clear that up. Thank you.
First of all, I think you're doing an excellent job.
Thank you.
And I think we all echo that.
Yes.
We all echo that. Thank you. Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, under item 4, approval of records, meeting minutes from November 13th, 2023, council meeting.
Does everyone review the minutes of that meeting? Looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by, Councilwoman Velasquez, is second. Raphael. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, so moved.
Motion passes 5-0. Next item on the agenda, under item 5, executive communication, proclamation proclaiming the month of November 2023 as Family Court Awareness Month for 2023.
That's Eric's turn.
Next item on the agenda, under item 6, new business is a presentation by Derek Colmanati, City of Central Falls Fund Developer. Under item I, Recreation Development Acquisition Grant Program 2024.
Thank you. David, when I see you here, you bring me something good.
It's good to see you all. I wouldn't use the word presentation. So it's in no form. So it's that time of year again. I know I've been in front of the council before when we've been prepared to submit Rhode Island DEM grants. As part of our submission, there is a public participation requirement, so that's why I'm here today to see if you folks have any questions before we submit. We'll be submitting, just so you know, it's due next week. We're going to be submitting 2 grants that will be due on December 6th, so the next week. As the council, I'm sure, is very well aware, Rhode Island DEM through this program, the Recreation Grants Program, has been very, very generous in the support of the city of Central Falls. In fact, now that I've been here for a decade, the first grants that we worked on in my capacity involved Rhode Island DEM grants, and that's how we were able to acquire where Veterans Memorial Park is right now. I believe the council president is very well aware of that park. And since that time, they've also been very generous in the support of Maycomber, Sacred Heart, and other projects that we've been working on. Now, we met internally, first of all. As always with these grants, what we want to do is, as much as we can, make sure that we can, if, looking at capital expenses that we have coming down the road, and be able to try to knock those off as much as we can. We also have a conversation with the Rhode Island DEM to make sure that they're on board, potentially, with the direction that we may go. It's very important to note, too, that at this point, I'm only asking for permission to be able to submit these requests. If the city council decides after they've been awarded that they do not want to accept the monies, we do not have to formally accept these monies. What we're thinking this year involves 2 grants that we're going to submit. One is for their large program, which is $400,000. That's going to go towards the continued improvements of Jenks Park. Obviously, Rhode Island DM has been very, very generous supporters of Jenks. That $400,000 request will continue to support the efforts that are currently happening at Jenks, as well as give us the ability to add an amphitheater, which will be used for community events, but also will be able to be used throughout the year, and is being made in such a way that it just will not be used for only programming. The second grant that we're looking to submit involves continued support of Maycomber. Obviously, Maycomber has become a huge, huge win for this community. It is being overutilized, to say the least, and the fact that we don't currently have concession stands or working bathrooms is an issue. So just the bathrooms themselves, for example, are costing us $2,000 a month, and concession stands allow all of these participants to potentially, first of all, be able to support folks as they come to the games, to the sporting events, but also potentially to raise money towards the organizations if they want to do that. So both of these grants also require a 20% match. It's important to note that for the $400,000 grant, we already have that match more than met. So it's going to be, if it was funded, it'd be $400,000 in new dollars with no obligation whatsoever from the city as far as chipping in, because of the fact that we've secured Rhode Island Preservation Society monies as well as CDBG money. So that would offset that requirement. And then as far as Maycomber is concerned, which we're looking at a project cost of between $100,000 and maybe $140,000, we're thinking for the match there, it could be a few different ways. First of all, in-kind match does work, so all the DPW services and other sports, parks and recreation programming would be applicable, which should more than meet that match. If not, there are other opportunities that we have to meet that match so that none of these monies are going to come out of the taxpayers' hands. With that said, that's just kind of an overview of what we're looking to do. I did want to see if the council has any questions whatsoever as far as these proposals.
Well, in my case, I would say with that proposal that you have for them, the only thing I would say is go ahead and move it forward. My point.
And I appreciate that, my friend, that is the plan. We think that, given our track record with them, as well as just having a very significant case of support, that we should have a very good chance of these things being funded. Obviously, nothing is etched in stone, but we will put the best proposal forward for the city of Central Falls and their residents.
It's good to see you. Every time you come here with positive news, and certainly get my support.
Well, that's because I come here before I go home. I try and interject a joke as well. I hope that's not gonna be the meeting minutes.
There's no question of.
Yeah, I mean, don't say that to my wife, please.
If there's no question of the promotion to move forward,
So moved.
Derek can go forward with his, grant. So moved. Motion by Michael. Second by Roger. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Terrific.
Again, you're always
Thank you.
welcome, you always bring good.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much,
Good to see you all.
Thank you. More than the king.
Next item on the new business is item B, review and consideration of lease agreement between the city of Central Falls and Faria Meat Market LLC, doing business as International Meat Market for the land, property, and building located at 756 and 770 Lonsdale Ave for $1. This was tabled from November 13, 2023.
City solicitor.
Mr. President, the city reached a settlement agreement with the party mentioned in this item over the weekend, and will be presenting the council with that settlement agreement at your December meeting, and as such would ask if the council would table this item indefinitely.
Is there a motion?
A motion to do that.
Motion by Second by Franklin to table this indefinitely. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Motion passes 5-0. The next item under new business, item C, city council sitting as the board of license commissioner. Consideration of condition of licenses. We have first item I, Class B liquor renewal, Tio Pepe Inc., doing business as Tio Pepe's Cantina, 508 Dexter Street. The owner is Ms. Alicia Lopez, who I believe is here. Ms. Lopez.
Good evening. Aye.
Okay, so this is the first time me being here, so I don't know, do I have to ask any questions or just?
Well, we tabled it because the, police department had some concerns regarding security. We do have a recommendation that we do approve your license tonight. However, after 6 months, it will be reviewed, and if there's no violations in the next 6 months after we approve this tonight, then you'll be okay. However, in that 6-month period, if there is any problems with the security or not, then further action will be taken.
In my defense, the problem that we're having now is, I've had this place for 8 years, and we really haven't had any issues with the place. Other than the first year we were there trying to establish ourselves, and we had problems with gang members and stuff like that, that's out of anybody's control. But after that, we really haven't had any issue. We always try to address everything when there's an issue, but the problem is, so the last year, I had a manager take over, because I wasn't present. I had another business we just bought in Pennsylvania, so I've been traveling a lot. It's not an excuse, but I haven't been there as much, and my mom has dementia, so I've been dealing with all the personal things. So he's never had experience on handling a bar before, but he's, I put him in charge as a manager. And our crowd has changed a lot. And I gotta say, a lot of people, it's very difficult to deal with people that come from the other bars surrounding. They come drunk, or they come already, high with something, I don't know. But there's a lot of issues outside also that we see, that they sit around, they hang around, and they just like to cause issues. So when we have security guards, they don't last long because they don't wanna have to deal with all that situation, because at the door we'll tell them you can't come in because you're drunk or you're this or you're that, and they'll just pop up with a weapon. They even pop up with a pistol one time, and he had to get involved, and they threatened him. So they don't want to have to deal with all that, so they leave. So it's hard for us to get the security guards there, and we have to be there, all the time. We can't have security guards Monday through Sunday there, but we do have them Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which are the busiest days. Nice. But it's hard to deal with people, and I want to be able to retrain everybody there now that I'm back and I'm able to be more present. I'm gonna retrain all the bartenders, and if they're not gonna work out, I'm just gonna have to get new ones. But they were like also having a problem with them over serving a lot of these people, cause they get aggressive when you say no to them. I know how it is, cause I was there before with my other manager, and she did very well, but time has changed, and I'm seeing a lot of issues outside, coming inside. And we're trying to stop them, but they get very physical, and violent, and they pull out guns or knives, and then they give you issues, and you say you can't come in with that, and so it's hard for us to,
Well, the key is the onus is still on you, no matter how you solve it, and if you don't solve it within 6 months, then we're gonna have to review it again, and perhaps you need our police detail, or perhaps you may not renew the license again. But again, the onus is on you, I understand, there's tons of problems, and I don't know if you knew that before you got involved in owning the business, that's all part of it. So you gotta do it, you have to do, and we as a city, for public safety, have to do what we have to do. And we also have to protect our police and fire departments at the same time. I don't wanna see our rescue calls out there for arrows over somebody's head. I don't wanna see police department being called a number of times. We have a number of times here, but that's neither here nor there. So if other council members have questions, again, if we have the votes, we'll approve your license tonight, the 6-month review, and we'll go from there.
Can I request one thing? At the beginning, when I just took over the bar over 8 years ago, at the very beginning, the prior bar owner was a very problematic bar there. So they started coming, the police used to come in randomly at any time during the day, pop in and then pop out to see if everything was okay, and then make sure we were closing at the time we had to close. I was wondering if that's something they could do now, if I request that from the police to come in every once in a while to see, because a lot of things we're having issues with drug dealers in there, and that's one of the main.
Yeah, I know, but we have quite a few bars in the city and restaurants with liquor licenses. I mean, I'm not gonna say yes for them. I guess if they're available, that's up to them. You talk to them in the future, but, anyway.
Council
anyone else
President.
have- Yeah, sure.
We asked if you could enter the email from Major Carroll into the record,
Okay, so we do have an email from, police department. Without any objections, I'd like to enter that email into the record. The email just states the number of times that they will call to your establishment, that's one of the problems. And security being a big problem, so. Anyone else? Unfortunately, I'm losing my voice.
I just, how many, security you have in there?
So we currently have 2, well, we had 1 and then we increased it to 2 now, right? Yeah, so 2, yeah.
2.
They come in, so we usually only have them Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're the busiest days, from 7 PM until closing. We got these good security guards, but we finally found good ones, and now they're planning to leave the state, so they're finding another job, so now we have to be in search to another one that is, it's hard to find good security, let me tell you. I'd have to do better jobs than that, that's one of the issues that I had in the past.
We understand your concern when you express here, but it's still like the president say, it is your business, and you have to make sure that maintain the peace in your establishment and as well in the city. Because anything happening there, the police officer also busy in all the area, and then do the best you can and try to maintain the peace there, and everybody have to be aware of what's going on. If you notice that somebody's go into your establishment and can cause problems, you have to don't let him in, or at that point, before something happens, call the police.
Yeah.
And then to preserve the peace. Get closer to the microphone, please.
Él habla español, is he okay?
Por ejemplo, en la calle, hay muchos jangueros afuera. Un día yo iba al restaurante, eso a las 4 de la tarde, y hay como gente de la ganga que está ahí afuera, ¿no? Llevaban botellas en la espalda, cargando con navajas por acá. Y yo vi que iban al restaurante, yo vengo, entré por la puerta de atrás y le dije, espérate, te voy a escanear, porque eran las 4 de la tarde, no puedo tener un seguridad ahí a las 4. Y veo que trae la botella y digo, no puedo entrar aquí con eso. Y luego le escaneo y te trae todas las navajas acá. Y digo, tampoco no puedes entrar con navajas. Y eran como 5 y se me vienen todas, entonces yo trato de salir y le digo, ¿qué pasa? Llamo a la policía, cuando yo con la policía se van a la barbería, se esconden por allá, y luego ya es algo
You don't have camera in the surrounding bar around? You show the
Entonces, pero la policía no hizo nada, dijo, ok, otra vez, solo me dijo, trae más seguridad, pero ¿cómo voy a tener una seguridad a las 3 de la tarde, 4 de la tarde, si no hay nadie adentro?
No entendamos.
You're still responsible anyway.
That's
That's what it is.
that's the bottom.
One other thing I do notice, there, I'm not gonna tell you everybody this, but one other thing I do notice, is very close, I don't see, we don't see any people, whatever's in there, you don't see it from outside. So I don't know if you,
Oh, you
Take back
mean
consideration.
like windows or anything?
yeah, there's only one door, all the windows seems like, either, I don't know, a lock or whatever it is.
No, well, so originally when I took over, the prior owner had a window, big window at the beginning.
Yeah.
When I was there, it wasn't there anymore. He had a big fight and somebody went through the window, whatever. So kind of like he didn't wanna, put a new window there because he thought it was security issues and then it cost him like $5,000 to do it, so he didn't wanna do it. But when I took over, that was years ago, they already had, it was just already a wall there. They put sheet rock and everything, so I haven't touched it. I would like to have more windows there, to be more light, but,
But I
that's how it's there.
Yeah, the only reason why I say, I mean, why, I try to understand what's the reason why people go to that place more than other place. We have all the business in Central Fall, and it seems like we have another issue, so I just try to figure out exactly what's.
What do you mean, we have more issues, like more
Well, it
trouble
isn't,
there? Oh,
yeah, definitely, we do have.
Is that what you said?
issues,
Okay.
and, you know, and,
Well, I know.
We try to help you out, but, I just saying, I think that people go to place where they can be able to hire somewhere, and that's why, I mean, I'm happy that you have a business in the fall, and I understand you, but, you look at it, you're in charge of the business, but you're far away from another state. I know, I understand it's a little tough.
Well, this was this past year, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just had a question, is this a year renewal with a look, or is it
No,
6
6
months?
months.
It's a 6
We
months.
approve tonight.
And is
6
that,
months, if
is
you
is
have
that
no-
stated in here clearly?
It's in there, yes.
Okay. I was reading it, I just wanted someone else's opinion on it as well.
So is it gonna be that, with another meeting
Yes.
in 6 months?
Yes, and they're gonna
It's
review.
gonna, if you have no,
if
if we approve tonight,
Mhm.
and there's no problems in 6 months, you're all set. However, within that 6 months, you could get called back. So technically, your license right now is on a 6-month lease. So if we approve it, I don't know if they have other questions.
I don't have any other questions, but I think that's fair in doing that.
Okay, with that, looking for a motion to approve, license.
Thank you, Mr. President. In lieu of Major Carroll's email, I just wanted to add a few things for the council's
Oh,
consideration. One is that, while spot checks may be desired by the business owner, the patrol have a whole city to police and
That's right.
more than 20 restaurant and bars to police. And so you certainly could hire police detail. So you go to the police department and maybe you just do it once a month, because then people won't know when they're there, or, so you don't have to do it every night, which may be a little cost prohibitive, but you could certainly hire one or more police officers for detail. We also heard multiple times from your landlord relative to his concern that you may not have a lease at the establishment, and also that you may not have insurance. I just wanted to flag for you that you will have to sign a document that says you have insurance for the duration of your license, and wanted to be clear on that. And we told the landlord, like, we don't get in the middle of the landlord
Yeah,
tenant.
I have we have to submit the paperwork, we have to have insurance for the renewal of the license.
So he alleged that you submit that and then you cancel it a week later or something to that effect. So we're not getting in the middle of that, but just wanted to flag that. And then finally, relative to the issue of weapons, pistols, knives, obviously for most of the residents of the city, possession of those types of weapons are illegal. And if you are aware of or see illegal activity, you are responsible, and your manager is responsible for contacting the police right away. It just can't be, we can't control the situation. You're under an obligation to be a good partner with the police department. So, there are many bars and clubs throughout the state of Rhode Island, and somehow they all manage not to have that type of activity in their establishment, and you have the same responsibility.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve this license pending a review after 6 months?
So moved.
Councilman Solano, is there a second? Second, Councilman Kazarian. Any further discussion? Hearing none.
Just wanted to say again, make sure that you preserve the peace in there. It's your business. We understand sometimes some people that like to go disturbing, but try to have the control, because it is your responsibility to maintain the peace in there.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Kazarian?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lavasser?
Yes.
Councilman Solano?
Yes.
Councilman Figueroa?
Yes.
Councilman Ferry?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Again, you understand. Okay.
Good luck.
The onus is on you.
Next item on the agenda, under item C, council sitting the Board of Licensing Commissioners, is Class B liquor renewal for Restaurant Monte Cristo LLC, doing business as Restaurant Monte Cristo, 804 Broad Street. Mr. Jose Martinez.
Good.
Good evening. He's the first owner, I'm the second owner of the Monte Cristo restaurant. And then he's never there, I'm the one in charge. I'm there all the times, and then, this is the first time I'm here, so I don't know much about it, so I'm just trying to do the best I can over there and try to keep everybody, happy with all the clients. And
The
so-
city solicitor is gonna fill us in on exactly why you're here.
Council President, at this time we ask that you enter into the record, Major Carroll's name.
Major Carroll, okay, that's on there as well, same thing, okay. The police department has notified us that there's been some issues, security, et cetera. We're prepared tonight to grant you the license. However, you're gonna be reviewed for 6 months, and if there's no violations, no problems, you'll be all set, but if there is, you're gonna be back, and you're probably not gonna get a license any further than those 6 months. That was a recommendation by the police department, they've been there many times, I know you have some security issues. Do you have your own security, or how do you handle problems?
Yeah, before I used to have one, but he left, so it's kind of hard to find somebody good that will do a good job. And then, so right now I don't have one, but I'm at the front door making sure that whoever goes there is somebody that's not gonna give me any trouble. Cause I know everybody almost, so I know all the clients, so I know who's good, who's bad. But sometimes, like the lady was saying about Tío Pepe, like the mean guys, they are already drunk, maybe high or something. So they go there, they carry knives, and one of the time, like a month ago, there was a guy that was carrying like a gun. Well, I didn't see it, they told me, somebody told me that he had it. But it's kind of hard to, when I say, look, you can't come in, because every time you come in, you make trouble inside, you know, you battle, other cases, and you just can't come in. So they get mad to me and they say, you know, I wanna come in. And sometimes they do anyways, so there's been some like 2 or 3 times that I have called the police.
You understand, we cannot have this in our city, we cannot.
Yeah,
Public safety is number one.
right,
We also
so,
have to protect the residents, our police department, our fire department. It's on you. If you can't handle it, then you hire private security or,
Police detail.
or the police department.
right.
You could have to give details, if needed. With that, first of all, that email from the police department covers this also, correctly answered the total email which they were part of. Anyone have any questions?
I do want to make comments about, when you first started talking about your business, in partnership with that gentleman here, and you say it's only you in the business all the time, he's not there. That is your business, and he is the co-owner. You guys have to have responsibility for your business and for the security of your business. The police here is to preserve the peace in the city of Central Falls. Something happened when you have somebody tell you somebody's with a gun in there, call the police. And then, because you have to preserve the peace in there, you don't wanna wait for something happening in there in order to be sure that we're there. So, it's your business, make sure we appreciate the business. And if you maintain the peace in your business, you don't wanna have any problem. But if you don't, then it's gonna cost you more. So make sure that you hire the proper people to take care about the security and do the right thing to maintain the peace in your business and in the city of Central Falls.
Okay, we'll try to do our best.
You understand what we're leading at.
Yes, I agree.
If fortunately you get granted tonight, you're still gonna get a 6-month review. If the police department's called out a number of times, you're gonna lose it. It's up to you, hire your own security if you need it, hire our police details if you need it. You can't go on like this, you cannot, God forbid if something happens down there. Comes back to us as being a big part of the city, allowing this, allowing the license to come back, this is what is going on in the city of Central Falls, so. It's serious stuff, it's not, all over the place, Anyone have any further questions? City solicitor?
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to put on the record that Major Carroll's email did cite 11 calls for service, as well as the law department was made aware of lots of bottles and other types of alcohol littering outside the establishment after nights of drinking, and that was the basis for the 6-month.
Yeah,
I'm sure you're
yes.
aware of that, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, I make sure that nobody takes any bottle out of the restaurant. But sometimes they bring it from some other place, and they just leave it there. There's a parking lot there, so I guess they hang out
Yeah,
there.
you should check it when you close, before you close, you should check it, whether it's your beer bottle or down the street's beer bottle.
Right, okay.
I get trash in front of my house, and people throw it out of their cars, I feel responsible, I pick it up. Bring the same thing or whatever, I'm always picking up. You can't just leave it there. It's gonna look like it. Anyone else? Looking for a motion to approve this license, which will be reviewed over the next 6 months. Is there a motion? Motion by Councilman Pizarro, is there a second? Second. Any further discussion about it?
Councilman Fazari?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lavasi?
Yes.
Councilman Solano?
Yes.
Councilman Figueroa?
Yes.
Councilman Ferry?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
I'm gonna say best of luck, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
Thank you.
Be happy holiday.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is a Class A restaurant renewal, International Meat Market LLC, doing business as International Meat Market, 756 Lonsdale Ave, Mr. Jesse and Jason Tucker. I don't believe they're here.
Mr. President, this also speaks to the settlement agreement that was reached with the meat market, both this and the next item. And I would ask the council if you could bundle both items and approve the licenses until 12 noon on March 1st, 2024, at which point their lease with the city expires and the property will be turned over to a contractor to build a new high school.
You said March first?
March
March
1st,
first,
2024.
2024.
So they'll have their license until then.
So they have their license to operate until March 1st at noon.
At noon time. 12 noon at 12:01, correct? Their license will be expired.
Correct.
All right. March first. We approve this tonight, bundle vote. It will be in effect to March 1st.
The next item on the agenda that will be bundled with item for Class A restaurant is Class C variety renewal for International Meat Market LLC, doing business as International Meat Market, 756 Lonsdale Ave, Jesse and Jason.
Same conditions?
Yeah.
12 noon, March 1st, 24 expires on 12:01. Is there any discussion?
Do we need to vote?
Yes.
Does someone need to make a motion? I'll make a motion to bundle both of them and have that license
Collectively.
run until March 1st, 2024.
Make a motion. And second by Franklin, to collectively make this motion. Roll call votes.
Councilman Kazarian?
Yes.
Councilman Lavasa?
Yes.
Councilman Solano?
Yes.
Councilman Figueroa?
Yes.
Councilman Ferry?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is new license, sidewalk, El Paisa Restaurant Inc., doing business as El Paisa Restaurant, 598 Dexter Street, Central Falls.
Hi, good evening. Hello, how are you? So we're here because I was notified that we needed to have an extra license for the outside dining for the restaurant.
By side, you have a fenced-in area, correct?
Yes.
Okay. But you're not gonna be on the sidewalk?
No.
No. I didn't know we had a sidewalk.
If I may,
Yes, definitely.
our sidewalk license is for, it's called sidewalk licensing, but it's actually for outdoor dining. So all our outdoor dining is falls under our sidewalk.
I don't know if we knew that, did we?
I don't think so. I
I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't know that, so I'm here in good.
We didn't know that, so
We've been
that's
there
why.
45 years and we did some major investment when we had COVID to do outside dining. We operate outside dining for about 2.5 months. I mean, right now it's closed.
For the summer.
For the summer.
Yeah.
Partial summer, because sometimes it gets too hot people don't want to eat outside.
Like corners.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, I mean, how we're gonna utilize that at this time, but anyways, the price has been here forever.
45 years this year.
Inconvenient for the community, and more than glad to make a motion to approve.
Just wanted clarification, so should they be here tonight?
Yes.
Because,
This is a new license, sir. Usually
oh,
for
it's
renewal,
new,
this is new, renewals, they don't have to be present, but for new licenses, they should be present to answer your questions.
Okay, so you didn't have to move it last year, was that what?
They didn't have it last year.
Oh,
This is their
okay,
first
I
time.
assume you had it because.
No.
You had it on the
we
fence.
have to do that.
Oh, okay, I didn't need it, to be honest with you. I see no problem.
I don't
Is there a
have a
motion
problem.
to
I
approve?
think that's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Motion. All right?
Yeah.
I think.
By Franklin.
The motion by Franklin. Which one's Franklin?
Me. And both of them.
Motion by Franklin, second by Councilman Kazarian. Any further discussion?
I didn't second, sir. I can.
Good brother.
I did now.
Sometimes he assigned the seat.
I have signed it too. Any further discussion?
No.
Yeah, it scared me, I had the word sidewalk.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had it. We're gonna work on scratching that. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
That's like sponsor of the business.
Motion
The
passes
government
five
sponsor
zero.
the business.
We're trying to keep it going for my parents, so that was their wish.
That's great. Thank you. That's great. Thanks.
I don't think there's any.
Next item on the agenda is consideration of 2023-2024 business license renewals. Mr. President, can we please dispense with the reading and bundle for one vote?
Sure. So that's the same thing.
So these licenses here are licenses that didn't meet the original deadline for the November
Right.
13th meeting. So they came in afterwards, so that's why they're on the agenda for today.
Were there specific reasons why they didn't pay their taxes or something?
It was either taxes, or they didn't have all their documents, or
That
they
they
just.
needed, okay.
And again, was it expired?
They expired at the end of the month. Yes, November 30th. All licenses, anyone who's not approved today, who's still pending, will have to close.
Wow.
Well,
With that, looking for a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Manny, second. Second by Raffaello, you beat them. Any further discussion? Hearing none.
No, thank you.
Hearing none, seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Motion passes
Aye,
5-0.
have it, thank you.
Next item on the agenda, under D, hearing and or consideration of claims, Ms. Jill Bixby, 2122 Warwick Ave, apartment 203.
Yeah, check the update on my claim.
Here, was the DPW supposed to be?
We do have, Director Barros here.
Oh, he is, I didn't see him.
He is here.
DPW,
Director, do you want to approach?
yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening. I guess you reviewed the plan. I guess number one is that is it the state highway or is it ours?
It's city road.
The city road. And that wasn't quite sure.
Mr. President, we did do some research and, discovered that it is a city road. We may try to change that at the legislature this coming session, but for now, it is a city road.
What is the total amount?
Ms. Bixby, do you wanna just quickly summarize your claim, and then you can
Yeah.
respond?
Okay, yeah, so the whole story.
Yeah, just as,
Okay.
it's
I was
like,
on my way to work.
Overview, yeah.
I was on my way to work, I was going down Lonsdale Avenue. I got stuck in traffic there for about 15-20 minutes or so, not moving, I was on my way to work at the middle school in Central Falls. There was a giant truck in the construction, it was in the construction truck in the Lonsdale Ave where it's blocking both sides of the road. So no cars could go the way I was going and no cars could come my way. And then it was also, so Benford Street is right here. It was covering portion of Benford Street. So the guy and the construction worker with the vest on was telling me which way to come. 2 cars in front of me went. They had to they had to go over the curb. I had just got a brand new car. I didn't realize how low my car was to the bottom, where I had to eventually go over the curb, if not I would hit the construction truck. I went over the curb, and when I was coming down, that road was under construction as well. It was a dirt road, there was no asphalt on it. It was a pretty high curb, and when I went down, I pulled over to the side of the road to check my car, make sure I didn't have a flat tire or anything. I had a little bit of damage to the beginning of the passenger side front of my car, which cost, the estimate was about $2,100. When I went to Greco Hyundai to get it fixed and get it estimated, they did call me up and bring it down to $1,800, which I paid out of pocket for.
You said a construction worker.
Yeah, they
I
had a
think
neon
your
vest
report said,
on.
I think your report said a police officer.
What was that? Sorry.
I thought you.
I did, I
Now
went to
you're
the police
saying it was a-
station.
No, you said a police officer told you to go around, and now you're saying it's construction work?
No, when I went past to take a right on that, on that curb, there was a construction worker, a neon yellow vest,
Okay, that's.
pointing me in this direction. I ended up going to the police station after Labor Day to report it. Because when I came to the city clerk's office, they had stated that I needed to go get a police report.
What did you actually hit? There's a lot of damage.
I hit the curb, which was pretty high off the ground. And then when I came down, I was going as slow as possible, and I smacked onto the tar, not the tar, but the sand. And that's when I pulled over, noticed the damage to my car. I went to go look for that construction worker, and there was nowhere to be found, so I just had to.
Again, that was not the city of Central Falls, it's construction work.
I thought it was because I was in Central Falls.
Did you have anything to offer? I didn't know the highway was, I didn't it was ours.
Yeah, the Rhode Energy was actually doing some repaving in Binford and Tucker. So in the process of doing Binford, they went all the way across to Lonsdale Avenue. So whatever happened to Mrs. Bixby, car is partly the responsibility of Rhode Energy because we didn't cause it, and that was, we were not doing it.
See, I wasn't aware, I'm sorry, I was not aware of any of that.
Yeah. That's what.
So-
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, I would like, just would like to understand, at this point, that claim should be submitted to Rhode Energy instead of the city of Central Falls.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't know that
I'm interested to hear
information.
what is the opinion of the city solicitor on that.
If you leave your email, we can direct you to who to submit it to.
Yeah, sorry, but.
That's
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I just, if I was aware of that information, I probably would put the claim in there instead,
Sure,
because it's the
try to-
first
try
time.
to- Try to blame our police department for waiting a lot.
I love you guys, I work here.
Sorry.
No, I appreciate that, thank you for
Yes.
taking the time.
City solicitor will get you the email.
Sure, appreciate it, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Mr. President, if you could just entertain a motion to refer the claim to Rhode Energy.
Yes. We have a motion to refer the claim just discussed to Rhode Island.
So moved.
Motion by Megan, right? Hatfield, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Next motion under D, hearing and consideration of claims, is Mr. James Eubanks, 121 Garfield Street, Central Falls. Good evening.
Hi. Your claim states that our city workers, picked up some dirt or something on the vehicle?
So I live directly across the street from the park that's on Garfield Street. I've lived there literally for more than 17 years now. And I've watched the park take over a different variety of different transformations, if you will. And a couple of years back, we started putting gravel and rocks and things on that to make it look more appealing, if you will, as opposed to it being grass, swings, and a slide. Recently, early this year, I noticed scuffs and scratches all on my car. I have two Mercedes-Benz. Okay, one is a 2015 Mercedes-Benz C-Class 300. Okay, the other one is a 2020 Mercedes-Benz E-Class E350 that I purchased May of this year. Okay. So I have cameras outside of my house, and when I was noticing, I don't even take my car, both of them, to the car wash because I understand paint, I understand clear coat and whatnot. So to make a long story short, when I would come outside to wash my car, I noticed pits and scuffs and scrapes on my vehicle. And when I got my new vehicle actually was giving alarms that says, hey, damage to your vehicle. And it gives you a timestamp of time of when it occurred. So I went to my cameras and everything, and I noticed the city worker driving up on the curb to get into the park. Most of the times they use a weed whacker to trim down the grass. And then they also use a blower to blow all of the gravel, chips, and everything from the back of the fence to the streets. I'm assuming they do that to get it so the street sweepers can come by and get up the gravel and the dirt or whatever and keep the city clean. And like I said, I've been there for years. So I've always been made aware when the street sweepers was coming down the streets to clean, but never was I made aware of when these guys was gonna come and start blowing again. It became really bad when you have all the gravels and rocks in the park, and they're using what I would consider a leaf blower under tremendous power, if you would assume. I have video and whatnot, so you can get a grasp and understanding of it, okay? So on the passengers and I park there, we don't have driveways at my house. Trust me, if we did, that's where I would park, okay? So the worker would come with the weed whacker, cut the grass, and literally for a good half hour, 45 minutes, uses leaf blower and projecting projectiles to my vehicles. I called the city to find out, can we work something out? If somebody can let me know when they're gonna do the cutting of the grass, you know? And I was transferred to another department. The lady said, where's this taking place? I explained to them on Garfield Street, okay? And immediately, a guy, unbeknownst to me, got on the phone. And he says, what you saying, what you talking about? He was very angry and upset, if you will. I said, I have very decent cars that I take very good care of. You know what I mean? And your guys are coming over here just blowing rocks at my car, causing damage, okay? He says he don't care. I said, why you don't care? I mean, it's private property, you need to care. I was just calling to really try to find a way where you can mitigate this to stop this from happening again.
You said you live across the street?
I live directly across the street.
Do you park across the street? Or
So again, parking is really, you have that,
yeah, so where do you park? You park in front of the
whichever
park?
one is open. So the school, you know, there's children's school on the corner of Garfield.
Yeah.
That place gets, they have 2 parking lots and they still can't keep cars over there. You
didn't submit an actual bill or anything for cleaning of your car?
Yes, I did.
I didn't see it yet.
There's
You
one
know,
for each car.
For each car.
What was the total?
One is 22 and change, and one is 2,000. A little over 2,000. There's right here in the packet. There's an estimate for each vehicle.
That would be interlocal anyway, should we get it? It's out of our hands.
So it's happened more than one occasion. The first thing I would like I said, I live right across the street. If you ring the doorbell, I will move the vehicle.
Those types of numbers is out of our hands. It would be good to look our insurance retreat into local if we're too liable.
Okay.
Gene, you have anything to say? Gene's the DPW director. Okay.
So, what the gentleman says, I've never met the gentleman.
No.
I did speak to him on the phone. And what he referred to, I didn't care, and he said to me that he had, $60,000 vehicle. I said, well, that doesn't really matter to me. What matters to me is that we're in the park trying to clean the park. I was not being condescending, I was just because prior to getting to me, he was talking to someone else who couldn't help him, so they said, I'm gonna put somebody else on the phone who actually can do something about it. The first incident came to a head between him and one of our employees called Josh Carino.
That wasn't the first one.
And then there was a second incident that happened with Jonathan Munoz.
That's not true.
So,
sorry, I'm just
Maybe you could just let him finish and then you can.
Yeah,
rebut.
Okay, I apologize.
Appreciate that.
So those 2 individuals, we have since been, not going to that park for fear of the interaction that this gentleman will have with these 2 individuals, or any other individual who goes out there with a blower who even working in the back of the park apparently are blowing stuff that are going way over across the street to hit his car. And they're using a blower. They're not, we don't weed whack because on the street because we understand that if it's too close, there are rocks on the sidewalks and everything else. So we don't weed whack on the street unless we put something out, the day before so the cars can move. But that's, everything we do is in mind to keep the city, the residents safe and also their property safe. This is, I've been here 9 years. We've been working on that street for all that time. We've never had an incident that, that amounted to this kind of, it's physical. This gentleman was physically threatening these two gentlemen. Not only me, and on the phone he was that way with me. And I took offense to it. And so I sort of rebutted him. And that's when I told him that I didn't really, I don't really care the fact that his car is worth X.
First thing, I would like to apologize if you felt like I was being a little assertive, if you will. Again, the first thing I did was communicate via telephone to the city, okay? And I had no interactions with no one, okay, until after Mr. Jean said he didn't care about, one of my cars is $60,000, the other one of my cars is $40,000, okay? Again, he also made mention that the vehicle that they're blowing all the way to the other side, and how does it hit my car? I have video to show how the blower has so much force that you have all of the gravel on both sides of the vehicle, dust covering the top and the bottom of the vehicle. I have totally covering the vehicle. Again, I work hard. I take really good care of my things. I've been a citizen and a taxpayer here because you guys just got rid of the excise tax. So I've paid my taxes. And again, just so you know, I've coached the football teams for the Central Falls Panthers for years. Okay, I did extended learning opportunities with Elizabeth Oates. I've never been trying to be a troublemaker. I'm a productive member of society, and I don't disrespect people, but my property is my property, and that's my only concern.
Okay, first of all, at that price, those totals, it's out of our hands. It goes to our insurance, which is interlocal. We cannot make a decision on that. That goes to our insurance, and you're gonna have to take it up with them, I assume. Is that correct, man? At that price?
Yes, Mr. Eubanks, our insurance companies around the local trust, and any claim that exceeds $2,500 is referred to them as your claim is, either the bills add up to, I believe, 4,000, your claim was 8,000. Either amount exceeds that $2,500 deductible.
You have to paint the vehicle. After you paint the vehicle, first of all, you strip it, of course. You have to repaint it to the black, and then you have a clear coat that goes over it. It's very important.
We can get you the address, all you need is our insurance.
Okay.
I'm looking for a motion to refer this claim to interlocal, our insurance. Is there a motion?
So we, that's the right
Councilman
one, we understand in your explanation that you say that you got a video that can prove that happens.
Absolutely.
And then, this is,
Again, it's out of our hands, right?
Yeah.
Is there a second? To refer this claim.
I'll second it.
Councilman Lavasser.
Okay.
Roll
Can you
call
give
vote.
me the information, sir?
Yes, sir. Councilman Kazarian?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lavasser?
Yes.
Councilman Solano?
yes.
Councilman Figueroa?
Yes.
Councilman Ferry?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
I just have a quick question.
Yeah.
So we referred him and all that good jazz. What can we do moving forward? The gentleman still resides at that location
Yes.
and whatever comes determination of the claim is beyond our control, which I understand, but to come to a happy medium on both sides, right? I'm sure nobody intended for it to be an escalated issue and.
I think Gene explained that. You're moving further away from the park, you're going back.
Right, but this gentleman's
Yeah,
standing
but we
even
have to
further
consider
back,
what he said.
there could be some.
They are, it's shooting, and
Right,
again, it's
so-
going way across, they might not be aware of it, but
I'm
it is
sure we
happening.
can agree that in 6 months, 12 months, a year, we don't wanna have this keep coming.
Particularly in the summertime,
Yeah.
it's really worse.
So, I don't know if that's something maybe you can speak on, I'm just trying to come to a happy medium here, so we.
They were there today, I saw them today.
I mean, the issue with the whole thing, obviously, the blower does create dust.
Right, you can't control
We
exactly.
can't
I'm
control.
talking about the pellets, the rock pellets is the problem.
Again, like I was saying initially, they were blowing from the back to the front. If you see the pellets are not gonna be flying way from across, the back of the park.
I would like to show you a video if you get the chance, because you're
I will.
assuming, you know, I want you to really.
Again, all I'm saying is that we do, the blower, we blow every day, everywhere around the city, around all the parks. It is dusty, I mean, obviously, we're blowing sands and dust. So, for us to go and knock on every door and tell them you gotta move your car, or we haven't put street sweepers signs out there for 10 years. So he's saying that he knew that the street sweeper was coming. If you hear that there's a blower outside your house, he literally leaves it across the street.
It's too late by then, but if you look, this is on the street right here, okay? See this car? This is on the opposite side of the park. See, this is what's happening.
I can see the dust.
But this is not the park side, this is actually the opposite side. When you say, yes, so it shows you how powerful the blowers are.
No,
So if
I get it.
if it's coming over here on this side, what you think is happening on the actual direct impact side?
Well, again, like a lot of this stuff is actually stuff that falls from the trees and, these are mostly leaves and things like that.
That's not leaves, that's grass.
Yeah, correct, but
But the rocks are being stopped by the cars.
Perhaps maybe you put, when you do, same sign you use for sweeping the street.
we don't put any signs on.
No, okay.
We don't put any signs.
Sign that we're gonna sweep the park.
I want them to, you know, I like the kids to be able to play, but I don't wanna have to paint my car every time that they clean the park, you know?
Well, I mean, I could do a couple of things, I could put, yellow, paint the curbs yellow so that people don't park there. So that would eliminate some of the parking spaces, but we'd rather not do that because we know that parking spaces are very premium. So if we do that,
I'm sure we can come to an amicable agreement to figure it out, because again, I just don't want my property damaged.
okay, well, let's talk offline
Okay.
and figure it out. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, I would just add, Mr. Eubanks, that the city is currently renovating that park. It's one of the last parks to be renovated.
When they let me know, again, I'll find another place, you know, it's just not knowing, the problem is again, being surprised. If like I work from home sometimes, most of the time in my office, so my office is upstairs in the back of the building, you know? The only way I know is when I'm either dropping my son off at his job, okay? Or I'm coming home and I get notifications, I can show you what the notifications look like.
I was gonna suggest that as the renovation process moves forward,
Yeah.
perhaps the architect could limit any loose
That
rocks
would be-
or pebbles so that the blowers used, it wouldn't be blowing anything of substance to damage the car.
That would be huge, again. I'm not a troublemaker, all I wanna do is live my life, and I'll be honest with you, Garfield Street is a very good, comfortable street for me, and I like living there. Okay?
Perfect. Hopefully it's a good enough park, you can work outside there.
I wish.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, and you'll email me or something?
Yes, sir.
I'm good.
The next item on the agenda, under item 7, is scheduled bills and hearings under consideration. Under A, an ordinance exempting 6 Chase Lane, Plat 2, Lot 180, from property taxes so long as the property is owned by Fuerza Laboral. First reading.
Everybody read the ordinance?
Yes.
I have concerns, many concerns, although I introduced it. The night I introduced the ordinance, I said, we, at this time, have no power to do that. And there wasn't a law that we could do that. So I said we could introduce something to see if there was a path. And the more I review, I have to backtrack and say, I don't think we could do this. I think we would open up a can of worms for all organizations in the same situation. state law is also. I don't think they qualify to be completely tax exempt. I don't know the feeling, Matt, have you looked at it much further, or you did the ordinance? I just wondered, and the fact that we're singling out one piece of property, I don't think that looks very nice either. I appreciate the ordinance, but I'm very concerned that it's gonna open up a can of worms for every nonprofit organization in the city. Now, I also know not every nonprofit organization owns a piece of property. Some people may rent, in fact, I think this particular organization had a room in City Hall here. They did not have a building at the time, but you can give the background. So that's my feeling.
Mr. President, may I speak?
Absolutely, yes.
I thought it was a great idea to begin with, but now I'm also having second thoughts because where's that tax, when the taxes decrease, who's gonna make that up? It's gonna be the people and the residents of the city, and I think that's an unfair burden. Because if we allow it for one organization, others are gonna come to us. And I think that could create a big tax problem, and we're taxed high enough without losing money in one pot and trying to recoup it by the city residents. I'm sure, many nonprofits are able to get money and grants and things like that to help pay for overhead, and I think that's the
In most nonprofits, I believe sales tax is done for one thing. Anyone else, this is something that I guess we all thought this over, I'm concerned, but I thought I'd create this for a path, and I don't think there's a path. I don't think there's a path where they can be scot-free, pay no taxes. I see no path, I don't think it's in our power to do that. Any other thoughts?
I agree with Kevin said anyway. It's right. Who's gonna take the heat after that? Who's gonna be paying for that?
And it's quite a few nonprofits that they want to be ringing the bell saying, hey.
Yeah, and then there might be some type of discrimination or something if you allow one person to do it and then another group, why did you do that?
Exactly.
And I don't think we wanna go down that road.
Yeah, but again, that night, I knew there was no law that we could do it, so I thought we could come up with an ordinance, which thank you, Matt, did. And the more I looked at it, I said, there's something wrong here, we can't do this. And that's my feeling, I just want to open up a can of worms. Anyone else, or any feelings?
Originally, when they applied for this, they was applying for the tax rate on the year 2023, I believe, 22 or 24.
No, they're looking at forever, the future.
As long as they own the property.
Yeah, because they own the
As long as they would own the property.
As long as they.
That was a proposal,
I think that.
Yeah.
the application that they submit
Okay.
for the first time
My friend.
for that year.
Let the applicant speak. Yeah. Hi,
Hi.
welcome back.
Thank you. I consider you really thinking about our project because our intention do it really impact in our community. We work for 30 years in this city. We did a good job for our community. That's very important. And I consider the business, that business don't pay the $1, ¿cómo se dice? Carnicería.
The meat market.
Free market, o sea, entonces, como si un negocio, ustedes pagan $1, nosotros estamos pidiendo un proyecto para la comunidad que no es de nosotros. Ese building lo compró Fuerza Laboral. ¿Alguien me puede traducir?
I'm sorry?
She's saying, she's talking about why is a meat market, already paid, it's all on it.
That's for the land, that was.
Yeah, well,
They paid for it.
that's what she's saying anyway, and, you know, and, why can they had, pay, she really feel like, why they did that for them and not for us. Venga, eso la cosa, la cuestión aquí no es que te va, no es, era lo digo que si se hace para ustedes, so se hace para, no tiene que hacerse para todo el mundo. I mean, if we do it for you guys, so now we had to do it for other organizations. And where's the money coming from? I mean, who's gonna be paying for tax, you know, my tax, everybody taxing all our people in the city. So, you know.
How many organizations there are in this city?
What's that?
¿Cuántas organizaciones hay en esta ciudad?
I don't have that information myself right now, but she asking how many organizations, non-profit organizations.
There's quite a few nonprofits, I'm sure.
There's quite a few,
There's
yeah.
quite a few, we do get a list, and that's the thing, we just don't put up a can of worms. And it's not fair for the residential tax.
So the point here is, that, and the president said that, Councilman Casadia and everybody clearly that if we do that for your organization, let's say you are the only one in the city, but down the road, another 5 organizations come around, they find out that we did it for you, they also want to request it for them, even though if they come new. Because you refer now about the meat market. The meat market is not taking a break from taxes. They pay tax since there was a business. It was a deal between the city and that business because they have to go against the wheel because the high school gonna go there. So we make an agreement for them, so they got the opportunity to find another place to go, and then we have to take the place and they lease it for the dollar for this remaining time, so they have opportunity to find another place. So, but as you referred from them, all they're gonna, of course, gonna say the same thing. Cuando tú te refieres de la carnicería, otro cuando una organización también va a referir, pues ustedes se lo dieron a la fuerza laboral en el 2023. Entonces nosotros también, entonces esa es la confrontación que como ciudad debemos de evitar. So that's the confrontation that we have to avoid as a city with other non-profit organizations when the time comes.
But they do pay taxes, the international does pay taxes. They do pay taxes. I hope you understand, we just. Any further discussion, anyone?
No, I just stand by what I said, because I think that's, when you're thinking about the future and what we're proposing to do, I don't think it's a good path to go
No,
down.
and I personally thought this over long and hard, even that night. And I said, I'll introduce it to see if there was a path. There is no path. I don't see a path where you can be tax-free, I really don't. I feel for you, but, that's how I feel. And it would open up a can of worms. Certainly, we have a lot of, I'm sure we have a lot of nonprofit organizations in the city. So, there's no further discussion, I'm looking for a motion, to approve or deny, this ordinance in front of us.
Council President, I'll make a motion to deny right now.
We have a motion by Vivian, is there a second? Second by Raphael. Roll call vote to deny the ordinance in front of us.
Councilman Kazarian?
Yes, to deny.
Councilperson Labas?
Yes.
Councilman Solano?
Yes.
Councilman Figueroa?
Yes.
And Councilman Ferrer?
Yes.
Motion to deny the ordinance passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda under item 8 is adjournment.
Go ahead, Mr. Chairman. Motion, thank you. We stand adjourned at, well, with that clock, it's 8:14, but it's realistic, 7:47.